Hi guys, we're back with another Crafty Twins mood board challenge, except today it's just me. Poor Essie is too unwell to participate this time, but it's also her birthday today, so do me a favour, head on over to her channel and leave her a little bit of birthday love so she feels better. This is the mood board we're working with this month, and if you want a copy of it to participate in this challenge, you can head over to my Facebook page. I'll leave the link down below and you can grab a copy of it for yourself. Now, I've got a very little Instax photo because I'm taking this mood board super literally this time. That quote said, happiness is a coffee and a good book, and for me, happiness is coffee and a cute dog. So that's my Instax photo. I've also grabbed out some papers from the colours of the mood board, including, again, super literal, these 6x6 papers of grey brick. So I didn't have a big enough piece of grey brick paper to cover the entire page, so I'm going to attempt to do it with two pieces of the 6x6 paper. So I'm just going to trim it down to a width. I've trimmed both pieces at the same time, so hopefully they're both exactly the same. And then I can go ahead and glue one down. I'm just going to glue one onto the bottom and then attempt to try to match up the other one at the top. So I'm just going to flip the book upside down just to make it a tiny bit easier, and just working out which way round I want to put that paper so that it matches best. And I think I had to flip it upside down, but when you stick them together it does sort of join rather seamlessly, so unless you're actually looking for the seam, you don't really see it. It does look like one continuous pattern, so I'm going to call that success. Now on the other side of the page, and again I'm going super literal with this mood board, I'm going to use that picture of the bed as a jumping off point for this side of the page. I really loved that shelf that was above the bed, so I'm going to recreate that with paper. I'm going to create my bookshelf with a little bit of washi tape, and then I've gone through, actually not even my stash, just some bits and pieces that were sitting around my desk, and once I've replaced the glue that just ran out, I can just start sticking little bits and pieces down. So I'm going to cut out one of these frames from this very old, I think it might be Dear Lizzie paper, I don't know, it's super old, and just start sort of creating my shelf along this washi tape strip. So everything's slightly larger than I want it to be, so I'm having to shuffle things around just a little bit. This was a digital paper from the AC digital shop that I'd printed out and had a little scrap left over, and just thought the colours matched nicely. So you can see I'm sort of building my shelf, and I'm building the pieces on the shelf as I go, just layering up washi tape, strips of paper and little pieces of ephemera. And then once I've got all of those done, I can stick my photo down, and then I'm just going to add a couple of other little pieces as well. Have to have a little floral in there. And a couple of little labels, so one just going to stick under my photo, and mostly it's just to add in some of the colours from the mood board, and that label's actually got copper edging, so I really like the metallic to it as well. That wee pink circle says fave, and it definitely has to go on there. So that is pretty much my right hand side of the page finished, and now I can carry on with the rest of my plan for this page. So again, I'm going super literal, and I'm basically going to copy that photo with the quote on it. So I've got a whole pile of different black glitter stickers, and I'm going to start from the bottom and work my way up. Now the dog, where it was easy, it's only 3 letters. The rest of this gets a tiny bit complicated, so I'm just using a little page protector actually. I just wanted something clear so that I could see through, that I could place my letter stickers on and then place them onto the page to make sure they were straight and in line and in the right place. So just carrying on up the page, and I am being careful to make sure I've got everything in the right order and aren't putting words out of place since I'm working backwards. But I'm just using the different letter stickers, so I think I've end up using 3 or 4 different types of letters. I needed to make sure I had enough to spell out the whole thing. And I'm just working my way up the page. Now I've sped this up considerably for you because it did take quite a while, I will say that, but I'm so happy with the results. It's exactly how I wanted it to be. Now these letters were a little bit shorter and so a little bit harder to work with, but that will be my last word. And then I can stick that down, and that is my quote finished. Now, I did think that I might leave my page like this, but I just felt like it needed a little bit something else. So what I decided to do was again use that bed photo and the sort of string of lights that are on it, and I'm going to replicate that but in paper form. So I grabbed a few circle punches of varying sizes. I just wanted to make sure I could get one that was the right size for my page. And in the end, I had to use this, it creates a flower. It's sort of a flower punch, but there is a very small circle in it, but slightly larger than my hole punch circles. So that's the size I'm going to use. And I'm just punching a whole bunch of little circles out of both some just regular white printer paper and some vellum. Once I think I've got enough circles punched out, I can carry on with my plan, which was to stitch them together with the sewing machine. But that did not work well. The little circles were too small. So what I ended up doing, and didn't film unfortunately, is I just grabbed a needle and thread and I just hand stitched those little circles onto the thread. So they're not, I just did a wee running stitch and just stitched them all together. And now I'm just gluing down the odd occasional ones so that I can swag them underneath my title and the little bookshelf I've made on the right hand side. So they can move about on the thread, and I'm not going to end up using all of them that I had there. And I'm not gluing the vellum ones, I'm only gluing the white ones, and that way you don't see the glue, and it does move about a little bit, but it stays in place where I put it. And I can just spread those out until they're slightly even, and then again I'm just gluing down every so often just to make sure that it does stay in somewhat the right shape. And with that, now my page is all done as soon as I glue down that tag that annoyingly keeps flopping up. I'm really pleased with the way this page turned out, and I really hope that you give this mood board challenge a go. And if you do, don't forget to let us know, because we really want to see what you create. If you want to keep watching, there's a couple more videos on screen. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you next time. Bye!